Hey folks, Pete Winiarski here, the founder of Win Enterprises LLC and creator of the Win Holistic Transformation Model and the author of the new book, Act Now, a daily action log for achieving your goals in 90 days. And I am thrilled about this book. I hope you are too. And let me just tell you a little bit about where this comes from in the first place. You know, I grew up a regular guy. You know, I was in a middle-class home, middle-class neighborhood. My dad was a high school teacher, oldest of 7 kids. If you can imagine what it was like growing up in that household. You know, my goodness, mom stayed home because she had to manage us, keep us on track, which I have to admit was probably a challenge for her, partly due to me. Sorry. But here's the deal. You know, with 7 kids in the house, we weren't handed a whole lot. We had to work for what we had. You know, I put myself through college. I went and, played sports. I had, anything that I really had, I worked for along the way. One of the things that I learned was back in the year 2000, in fact, 1999 to 2000, I began marathon training. I had this idea that I wanted to go and run a marathon. And what I did was I went out. I lived in Atlanta at the time. It's like June or July. It's warm out. My goodness, if you can remember the Olympics in Atlanta, the athletes complained about how hot it was. I can tell you that's the case. Well, I'm trying to run a 10-mile run. I would go out in the middle of the morning, after breakfast, and, it's when the sun's going up, the temperature's getting hot. I did everything wrong. I made it maybe 6 miles. I had my wife, poor Marie, on a route. I said, here's where I'm going to be running. If I'm not home by this time, drive out and get me. I had to climb in the car to have her give me a ride home. Until I decided to start working with a marathon training group. We had a coach. We had the community, and we had a logbook. And the idea of that logbook, it was our lifeline. We wrote down our runs. We wrote down how we feel, what we ate, all sorts of information. And it helped. It helped to achieve the goal. And I actually did cross the finish line of my first marathon on January 9th, 2000. And it was phenomenal. I finished the 26.2-mile run. And then 1 year later, January 7th, 2001, I had finished my 4th marathon. I did 4 of them during that time, and that doesn't include those 26-mile training runs that they had us doing. And that was all part of the process. That logbook was part of the process. Now, the other thing about the logbook was that, I learned how tracking the actions I was taking gave me direct feedback and gave me something that I could look to do differently on a day-to-day basis based on what my results were up to that point. It was working. So fast forward, as I'm learning more about goal achievement, I'm studying the science of success, following people like Jack Canfield and some of the best people out there who are those coaches on helping you to get to the next level, whatever that might be. I started to apply some of the same thinking in a daily logbook fashion. And as I tried some things, I made some changes, I got some feedback from some other people, and ultimately, in the end, ta-da! This is a picture of the cover of the book for Act Now, a daily action log for achieving your goals in 90 days. And the idea of this book is after the quick chapters of content to describe the process, how to achieve your goals, what are the 3 types of action, how to use the daily action log methodology, then it gets into 90 days of action log. How to take action every single day over those 90 days. That's what this book is about. That's how you're going to achieve your goals, and I'm going to see your life be dramatically different as you use the process for this set of goals that you have now and every 90 days from this point forward. I'm excited about this for you. Can't wait to get started, and I hope that's true for you too. Check out dailyactionlog.com and look for more information. Take care, everyone.